Hello and welcome everyone, I am Maddles and welcome to game 2 of this best of 3. It is between Aces Scarlett and CreatorPrime, and well, it is from the Battle.net World Championship. It is from Group H, and if you haven't watched game 1 you should definitely go and check it out, because it was sweet. And yeah, game 2 is on the cards now, and you want to know what happens, don't you? Well, Creator, he took game 1 pretty convincingly, and Scarlett now on the ropes, obviously. Best of 3, if she loses this, out and dead and gone. But if she wins it, then it goes to game 3, and we all get to witness another awesome game. But it's a ZvP, and the map is in Tomb Valley, obviously. And, well, Tomb Valley is a nightmare to play on, because, see that? That is a really wide for Protoss. Like, that's huge. This angle as well, huge. Walling off is just a nightmare. You can do some weird angles here, but of course it's just a pain. Meanwhile, Scarlett, well, it's a pretty good map, to be honest. A nice wide open area here, which is good for ZvP, coincidentally. These rocks are a bit of a pain, but you can still go and take your third base anyway. They're in cross spawn positions. It is force crossed. Oh no, apparently it's not force crossed, actually. I thought it was. I know you can't get horizontal spawns, but obviously the supply depot down there, but that's fine. Anyway, coming back to the map positioning, obviously third base, okay to take. You've got a ramp there, the rocks are out. Protoss is actually really nice taking your third base on this map, because you knock those rocks out, and then you just plant your units there, and you're just like, come at me, bro. You want to come that ramp? Okay. You want to go that ramp? Okay. And everything is just A-okay all the time. Anyway, Forge first coming down from the Protoss. I think that's the right move on this map. It's just a pain. Nexus first would just be so risky. The wall off's big anyway. It would just be a bit funky. In terms of the strategy, obviously Scarlett getting up that spawning pool. In game 1, if you remember, it was a quick third out of Creator that really worked well for him. A 3-base Protoss is just really ridiculously strong. Scarlett did tech up super quickly up to Broodlords. The high went down at like 11 minutes 40ish, and then of course just went into super quick Broodlords, which didn't work out because they weren't out in time to deal with the push, and then just didn't have enough ground forces to deal with it either, which of course is always a bit of a nightmare. But basically, hoping in game 2 we'll see something, well, another great game if nothing else. But looking around, what have we got? Obviously the Nexus coming down, the pylon coming down. The cannon not actually started yet. Wow, that's quite surprising. Obviously the probe there, so he sees what's coming out. Scarlett, if you remember, in game 1 also went for these 4 Zerglings, and it was something I commented on there, that I think 4 is just too many. I think 2 Zerglings is absolutely ace. 4 is just like, why? Because as we saw in game 1, they didn't really do anything, and they're not going to do anything yet again by the looks of things, unless of course they can get over before this cannon finishes, which would be a bit of a hope in my opinion. But obviously this wall off's bigger, so they have a better chance than they did previously. They could get in and get some scouting information and just be annoying, but the probe coming out there yet again for CreatorPrime. Seeing this, he's going to delay it just long enough to allow his cannon to come up, which is just absolutely ace play. And of course now up comes the cannon. This probe going to get away as well. It's going to be pretty close, but no, unfortunately the probe does die, but 1 Zergling survives. That 1 Zergling is going to get scouting information, not much else. The third base for Scarlett already down, went down about just after 4 minutes. Natural base up and running, and no gas yet. Of course 1 gas down here for the time being. That Nexus is not quite finished. The probe transfer went a little bit too quickly, but that's fine. Of course these probes are trying to pick off the Zergling, which still has 11 HP, just happily running around, taking a look, seeing, hey, is the second gas up? Has that been scouted yet? Nearly, I believe. Yes, it has there. Well, that's really funky. It doesn't show, but it has been scouted that it was warping in. So, obviously, fully aware that that is there at the moment, and that's good for Scarlett. She knows all the timings of her opponent. In terms of gas for Scarlett, we shouldn't see that come down to about 40 to 50 odd supply. We'll see the first 2 gas just because there's no need for it any earlier. The Cybercore just finishing up there for CreatorPrime. The Zealot is out and is just being a complete nightmare chasing that Zergling around. But that Zergling is just like, no, you know what, guys? I'm just going to live forever. And Scarlett there putting loads out. APM wise, well, Creator a good near 100 APM average, higher than that of his opponent. Scarlett just playing it nice and steady, getting all the right things out, getting the queens out. Obviously 2 more queens following up, that'll take her up to 3. The first creep tumor is down there. No join up between the main and natural yet. If you remember in game 1, there was a creep tumor chucked down on the third as well, which we're seeing right now. So loving the consistency. We're getting up to about 6 minutes. Within about the next minute or so, we should see the Rotron and Evolution Chamber go down. The first 2 gas there at 45 supply. That's all good. In terms of the work account, the Protoss will be ahead, but now the third base is up, we should see the ZerG players start pulling ahead in the work account as to be expected. A third gas coming down there for Creator. That's quite an early third gas timing. Be interesting to see what he does there. Getting on 3 gateways right at the back of his base, out of the scanning information by a mile, that Overlord could come in. We'll wait and see. Obviously, this is a similar build to previously. He did this in game 1, it worked well for him. This gets a nice couple of units out, can be aggressive should you want. The Roach Warren coming down there at 6 minute 50, so that's all good. We should see an Evo follow this up as well. And, well, we should do anyway, at least. That's always a good thing to get for the Spore Crawlers, for the DTs or air harassment. And, well, in terms of everything else going down, more and more drones. Drone count skyrocketing for the ZerG player now. Creep spread going well, of course. Scarlett known for having exceptionally good creep spread. That probe spotted by the Overlord, that's always good. The 2 Zerglings running out there. Need to keep an eye on where that's going to go down. Meanwhile, this Queen getting some extra use. They are picking off the rocks between injecting, because they are not just there for injecting stuff. The evolution chamber goes down. I think that was another Evo cancelled there. The lair timing all looking good. Meanwhile, those 3 additional warp gates have finished. The warp gate tech is done. +1 finished. +1 ground armor coming down as well straight after. The pylon very, very forward there. 2 zealots and a stalker. That is being quite annoying. That Overlord getting picked up will supply block Scarlet momentarily. More zealots warped in as well. And well, this is a large amount of zealots coming across the map now. And this could provide absolutely massive amounts of damage. Potentially the first Roach hitting the field. More in production. If the Roaches get out before this push hits, it'll be absolutely fine. Roaches absolutely murder zealots to pieces. The Spine Cord on its way down, but of course a lot of damage could be done here, and this is always the target of a Protoss player's first attack is the third base. If you pick it off, you're in an absolutely exceptional spot. These zealots and stalkers trying to deal as best they can with the Roaches. Of course, the Roach numbers slowly coming up more, but they are getting picked off relatively quickly out. CreatorPrime, he's focusing down the Spine Crawler now. The rest of those zealots trying to engage Roaches. Of course, they don't engage too well. Roaches coming from behind as well. These units are getting completely surrounded. Drones pulling out, trying to get to safety. And of course, the Roach numbers are actually staying pretty low. They're trying to kite those zealots out as best they can, but Stalker coming in from behind. Of course, the Stalkers are what's really important. Immortal in production behind this. So many more Zerglings on the way. Speed is finished for them. That means the Stalkers will get shut down pretty easily. The Queen's even coming into this action now. And well, if the Stalkers are picked off, the Roaches are going to have an easy time with the Zealots. But the problem is that obviously the Zealots do very well against the Zerglings, and the Stalkers do very well against the Roaches. So you've got to get those good surrounds, you've got to get those hits going off. As you're seeing it here, Scarlett really bringing the A-game and showing Creator what he's got to do to try and win this. And of course, micro-intensive as anything. This is a delayed 4-gate. It's still up of 2 bases. Pro production has been cut, of course, up at 48, so saturated. And, well, Twilight Council following this on. No third base yet out of the Protoss player. Just going to be really aggressive. The Immortals obviously building up behind, but it looks like the Roach numbers have got up high enough to start dealing with this. The creep spread, absolutely brilliant, and that's what's really allowed this really forward pushing, even without Roach speed even done yet, so that these Roaches are able to engage. The Transfuse goes down. The third base just going up now for Creator, who's in a bit of a difficult position, to be honest. Twilight Council on its way down. The first Immortal about to pop. That is always a good point, because, well, that's when Roaches become a lot less scary to you, because Immortals are just so good. Scarlett is getting down the Infestation Pit and a second Evolution Chamber, as well as a Macro Hatch. And the reason for a Macro Hatch is because a fourth base is a bit more risky to take. This Pylon has been allowed to live. I don't even think Scarlett has managed to scout that out. No, she hasn't. So, of course, that probably will survive. The wall up here for Creator going to the third base. Photon cannon down as well. 2 Immortals are now out, and of course that is good times, just purely based on the fact that you can deal huge amounts of damage to Roaches, which of course are always an annoying threat. Now, looking around here, what else have we got? We've got a couple more units just running around. We've got a supply block actually for Creator. He hasn't lost a pylon though, as far as I can see, so I'm surprised he's got supply block. He's getting Blink on the way. The +2 Protoss ground weapons are being researched. They are about a quarter done. Meanwhile, for Scarlett, the 1-1 melee upgrades on the way, so all the upgrades going really nicely. Lair's done. Pathogen Glands has gone past the critical 30-second mark, so Infestors can get started whenever Scarlett should so choose. This single pylon here getting taken down. It seems an Overlord somewhere was picked off. I'm not quite sure where. The Observer getting good at scanning information. The creep spread, absolutely phenomenal. Just going every which way. Meanwhile, we've got yet more Immortals coming out, and there's an awful lot of Immortals starting to get down on the field right now, and this could be running into some problems for Scarlett, to be honest, because she hasn't really transitioned out of just going Roach Infestor. And if she doesn't transition out of that quite quickly, then obviously a big push could be absolutely devastating. There isn't a robotics bay on the field yet, just more gateways being added on with Blink as well. This is going to be an incredibly strong push against the pure Roach army, and it's going to become really difficult to deal with. Obviously the Infestors will be out in time, the fourth base on its way, but I can't help but feel that Scarlett is dropping slightly, well, not behind, but Creator is really starting to get into a strong position, and if the engagement isn't good, it could cause problems. A War Prism on its way, but this could be good for Scarlett, although it has been scouted by that single Stalker. So the rest of these Stalkers just moving out, clearing out the creep tumors, pushing it back as best they can. That's always an important thing to do, because as you can see, that's already halfway across the map at the 13-minute mark, which is always going to be a problem for you. Meanwhile, if you take a look, the Pylon getting taken down, but we've got a good engagement here. The Stalker's in a nice position. The Infestors are out on the field, though. Where are they chilling? They are chilling back between the 3rd and 4th base, and of course Creator, he's just going to keep pushing forward. The War Prism on its way as well. That's going to be such an important unit here right now. It's going to allow the resupply. Scarlett is ahead in terms of the supply count, but this army is just absolutely terrifying. But a massive fungal growth goes down, but a good blink forward picks off one of the Infestors. 2 Infestors go down, more Infestors go, but we've got great big fungal growth going down. Loads of Infested Terrans getting lobbed down, but these Immortals are critically staying up, and that is what is an absolutely critical part of this, because of course this Protoss army lost pretty much nothing in that engagement as far as I can see. The Zerg player coming out really quite badly there actually, and if we bring the UI back up, all 4 of those Immortals are still looking on very, very good health. They are such a critical part of this though, and as you can see, as long as they stay up, they're going to start doing so much damage. You can see the Zerg player trying to get a good surround, Scarlett trying to get the good attack angles, trying to focus down the Immortals. One does fall, but still, there's just more coming, and there's just more resupplies. The Infestor count getting really, really low. There's no energy on the Infestors that are still standing. Hive, again, was super early, and it looks like Scarlett's going to be forced out of this now, and it's going to be a 2-0 to Creator. I don't see any way she could hold this. She just doesn't have the units. She's only got a handful of Roaches and Zerglings on their way, and with one Immortal still up, that Immortal with 19 kills already, is it going to get survived? And it should survive, but of course the Stalker's dealing huge damage with the +2/+1 upgrades against 0-1 for those Roaches. And that, of course, is never, ever going to be a good engagement. Blink being used so effective without the fungal growth there to shut it down. The micro from Creator, absolutely amazing. If you look at the APM, he's pulling 300 APM here. So Scarlett, though, so they're both playing absolutely incredibly fast, trying to micro so badly. What I like about what Creator's doing is he's biding his time. He's trying to wait for the right moment. 6 Infestors are queued up. If they come out, it could give Scarlett a chance, but it's going to be incredibly close either way. That War Prism still warping in more stuff. We've got these Stalkers moving forward. Their 4th base is dead and gone. All the drones, they were going to get taken out as well, almost certainly. And, well, of course, Scarlett's got to try and get in a good position, looping around with these units. Running back, though, there's quite a few Queens out at the moment. And, of course, all those Queens do have transfusers available. They do have quite a bit of energy. But the Stalkers there moving up, blinks backwards, getting out of the fire range, and of course this is just allowing the Protoss army to be oh so cost effective. All the drones getting pulled, which is never ever a good sign if you're pulling drones. And well, this blink micro absolutely insane by Creator. Both these players at 300 APM still, and well, this is just pretty sick play. Fungal growth go down, that's locking the Stalkers down, allowing the Zerg army to try and engage a bit better. Meanwhile though, we've got more units warping in, and still we've got more of an attack, and well, to be honest, I think this is going to be GG. Only Infestors and Queens left at the moment. 28 more Zerglings coming in, but these Blink Stalkers seem to be surviving for near ever. Infested Terrans getting locked down. The remainder of the Stalkers blinking forward to come and pick off those Infestors. The Queen's going down as well. Infested Terrans streaming in. The Zerglings streaming in. But the damage just seems to be too much from the Protoss player. Scarlet supply under 80 now, and well, this is just becoming a bit of a whitewash. The Stalkers are dwindling in numbers, but Scarlet just unable to get enough in time. Drones coming from behind, trying to stay in this till the very, very end, but there is the GG. And Scarlett does indeed lose 2-0 to CreatorPrime, who will go get the series win. So if you did enjoy, guys, please subscribe, leave a cool comment, like the video, etc. Tell your friends, and yeah, I will catch you tomorrow for yet another new game. Thanks for watching, and bye for